My name is Emily, and today I want to share a story that changed my life forever. A story that taught me how dangerous our judgments can be, and how kindness can come from the person we expect it from the least. It all started on a cold morning in downtown Seattle. The kind of morning where people walk fast, hold their coffee tighter, and try to avoid eye contact with strangers. I was rushing to work, holding my 6-year-old son Jacob's hand, when I saw him again. The homeless man. He stood on the corner of the street like he did every day, wearing a worn-out jacket, holding an old shopping cart with a few blankets inside. His hair was messy, his beard long, and his clothes faded from years of struggle. He looked tired, hungry, and invisible. His name, I later learned, was Henry. At that time, to me, he was just a homeless man, someone I silently judged without knowing a single thing about him, someone I kept my son away from because the world teaches mothers to fear people who look different. Jacob looked at Henry and whispered, "Mommy, why is he standing there all alone?" I tightened my grip on his hand and said quietly, "Stay close to me. Don't go near him." Henry looked at us with soft eyes, as if he understood my fear. He didn't say anything. He just gave a small, polite nod. As we walked past, I saw his hands tremble slightly. Maybe from cold, maybe from hunger, maybe from a lifetime of people avoiding him. But I didn't think about any of that. I just walked away. Later that morning, while I was ordering coffee at a nearby cafe, something happened. Jacob dropped his favorite toy on the sidewalk while I was distracted by my phone. People walked around it, some even stepped on it without noticing. Henry slowly bent down to pick it up. He brushed off the dirt gently with his sleeve and held it out to Jacob with a soft smile. My heart jumped. I rushed to Jacob and pulled him back. "Please don't touch my child," I said sharply. Henry stepped back surprised, but didn't say a word. His kindness should have softened me, but instead, I let my fear and judgment control me. I grabbed Jacob's hand and walked away quickly. Jacob looked back at Henry and said in his innocent voice, "Thank you, mister." Henry simply smiled, a tired but genuine smile. Days passed like that. Henry stood on the same corner every morning. Some people ignored him. Some gave him nasty looks. Some even shouted at him. But he never reacted. He always stood quietly, like someone waiting for a miracle that never arrived. One afternoon, something happened that changed everything. It was Friday. The streets were filled with cars, horns, and evening rush traffic. I had just picked up Jacob from school. His hands were sticky from the candy he had been eating, and he was full of energy. "Mommy, look at my ball," he said excitedly as he bounced it on the sidewalk. In 1 second, everything went wrong. The ball slipped from his hands and rolled onto the busy street. Before I could stop him, Jacob ran after it. My heart dropped. A car was speeding toward him, too close and too fast. People screamed. I froze. My voice cracked as I shouted, "Jacob!" But someone else moved before I could. Henry. He threw his shopping cart aside and sprinted toward Jacob with the speed I never imagined he had. The world slowed down. Henry reached Jacob, grabbed him tightly, and rolled with him onto the sidewalk as the car rushed past them, missing them by inches. The entire street went silent. People stared in shock. I ran to Jacob, tears pouring down my face. He was safe. He was breathing. He was alive. I fell to my knees and hugged him tightly. Then I looked at Henry. His arm was bleeding from the fall. His clothes were muddy. But he was smiling. He whispered, He is okay. That's what matters. I broke down crying. Why would you do that after how I treated you? Henry gently wiped Jacob's tears with his sleeve and said, "He's a child. I couldn't just watch." People gathered around us. Some clapped. Some cried. A police officer arrived and asked Henry if he needed medical attention. He just shook his head, embarrassed from all the attention. At that moment, I realized something. This man, whom I avoided, judged, feared, and ignored, had the purest heart among everyone on that street. He didn't hesitate. He didn't think. He saved my son's life. As the crowd began to clear, a restaurant owner named Mr. Carter approached us. He looked at Henry and said, "I know you. You used to be a firefighter years ago, didn't you?" Henry nodded quietly. Mr. Carter continued, "He saved people before. He was a hero long before he became homeless." I could not hold my tears. My whole body felt heavy with guilt. I had judged a hero by his clothes. I whispered, "I am so sorry, Henry." He smiled and said softly, "People fear what they don't understand. It's okay." That night, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the moment Henry jumped in front of the car. I kept thinking how different my life would be if he hadn't been there. I thought about all the days I ignored him, the times I pulled Jacob away, the disgust in my voice when I asked him not to touch my child. And yet, he saved my child